Hola.
¿Cómo estás?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Pronouncing it correctly?
I think so.
I hope so. Anyways, we just finished performing for a Chinese corporate function. They were celebrating Chinese New Year. Right now we're at a Asian bubble tea place. There's a lot of Asian bubble tea places in where we're living, which is Markham area. Yeah.
Well, where we have to live.
Yeah, where we perform at. Anyways, so today we'll talk about how to perform for people with language barriers, because we have a lot of that. We encounter a lot of situations where our clients simply don't speak the same language as we do. We appreciate how Canada is a place where different cultures merge and it just becomes a melting pot.
Yeah.
Fuse.
Yeah, one of the things we've done to try and be able to work with the language barrier when it comes to our audience is trying to add more visual aspects to our show. For example, there are parts where they can just sit back and watch, and it doesn't matter what language they speak, they can just watch what's happening on stage.
Yeah, focus on the visual components is definitely important. That's based on the assumption that you have a choice to choose between. Because sometimes, like comedians, you just have to speak. You know, that's at least like the non-silent act comedians, right?
If you have to speak, or if you have to do a lot of talking, and that's entirely what your act is based on, one of the things you really want to focus on is your vocal technique. You want to be able to exaggerate your pronunciations. You want to be able to speak clearly.
Or reduce the volume of your enunciation, for instance. Sometimes the audience don't really get what you're saying, but in some cases, or in most cases, when they feel the shift in volume or tone of your voice, they can actually feel the shift in meaning or the mood of your performance. And that's always helpful because you're trying to communicate, right? As a performer, you're trying to communicate what you have in your mind, this image or the picture, to your audience.
You also want to reduce the amount of big words or reduce the amount of words in general if possible. Narrow it down to the smallest amount of words as you can.
Yeah, focus on the simple words. Just having that bubble tea. Anyways, you want to select the simple words, be selective, right? Make sure you keep the language simple, because if your audience don't understand the big words, it's not their first language or native tongue, they can still understand the simple words, right? Or most of the cases. Otherwise, if your audience doesn't understand the language that you speak at all, and you just happen to be a performer that only uses language, then why would they book you, right? Because in most of the cases, you perform for audience who can understand the basic language that you're speaking, right? They may not understand the big words, they understand the basics. So focus on selecting your script or choose the words for your script so that it's simple, right? Easy to understand.
And if you can't add visual aspects, if your vocal technique is good but they still have no idea what you're saying, then you must project passion.
That's right, that's the last thing that you can do.
Because even if they don't know what you're saying, they have no idea what's going on, they at least appreciate you. It's actually funny because you sent me a video the other day asking me what I thought of something, and it was a guy performing in Mandarin. At the end of the performance, all I had to say was, what he was saying sounded very meaningful.
Right. Even if they don't know what they're doing with, or what they're performing, or what you're saying, they can still understand your passion, your energy, because energy is contagious, right?
Before he even did anything, what he was saying just sounded deep, and I had no idea what he said. That's
right. So always be passionate and focus on the energy of your performance. Even if your audience don't understand it, they may still appreciate it. Let us know your story. If you perform for audience with language barriers, and don't forget to like or comment and subscribe. We can start a thread and discussion about what your techniques are when you perform for audience who don't speak the same language as you do.
Or if you've had any funny stories performing for audiences that don't speak the same language as you as well.
Alright, happy Chinese New Year.
新年快乐.
The year of the dog. Alright, peace out.